Good morning. We are live. 3, 2, and 1. Action. Hello, hello, hello. All right. If you can believe it, we are in November. We are coming up on the end of 2022. And it is time to really see where you're at, see where you're going, moving forward, and help yourself have the best of the holidays as they're coming forward. No matter which holidays you celebrate, no matter if you celebrate Thanksgiving or you don't, you celebrate something like it, these tools and tips that I'm going to go over with you will still apply. So please take a look at them. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what really fits for what it is that you're looking to create with your family or what might be in the way. What I like to do on these lives here each week at 8:15 Eastern Time, you can ask me questions beforehand. I'll answer the questions live. You can let me know, hey, when you're talking about this, this is what comes up for me, and I'll address that for you. The idea of this is to really be in support of you. Just to kind of give you a little who I am. My name is Tammy Workman-Lopez, and I dealt with anxiety and stress and feeling not good enough, which stemmed from child abuse of various kinds growing up with my mom and dad. From there, I ended up in foster care, and I began to see that there was another way to see things, another way I could live, another way I could understand. And once I turned 17, I started learning about deep personal development work from multiple intensive courses. I've been doing it my whole life, and I may not look like it, but I'm 45 now. I'll be 46 next month. And this is something I'm basically addicted to, right? I'm always learning, always growing, always developing, always taking myself to the next level. And my mission in the process is to share that with you. And so I have gone through so many things. And because of it, I've been able to see how to get out on the other side. I've learned so many different tools and techniques. And then I also learned, even knowing that, I still was stuck. And then I began to learn how to retrain my thinking, and not just on a personal development level, but on a mindset level, on a programming level, realizing all of what I thought I was stuck with was a program of its own, and that I was not really stuck with it, but I didn't know it. I thought I was. And when you have a thought, which is like this fact, then it's just going to show up like fact because that's what you believe. Our minds are so flippin' powerful. And so I didn't realize, because I had those beliefs, I was making them true. I just didn't even question it. The same thing happens when I'm working with my clients or friends or anybody for that matter. The way the mind works, unless we break that pattern up, it believes what it thinks. And we don't realize we're in control of it. We don't realize we're the creator of it. We don't realize how to stop and think about how we think until someone helps us to do that. It's not that you can't, it's just that you didn't know how yet, right? It's like saying, oh, well, I don't know how to ride a bike. What if you've never had a bike? If you've never had a bike, how are you going to know how to ride a bike? So the idea is, once somebody shows you what a bike even is, once somebody shows you how to ride a bike, once you get that balance going, then you start to feel better. The same thing works in your relationships. If you don't know how to have a healthy relationship, even starting with yourself, how are you going to do it? It's not just going to happen. There's no osmosis, as much as I've wished it for every test I've ever taken. We have to allow ourselves to absorb it, learn it, see it, practice it. And everyone has a different personality and a different learning technique. And so it's important to be able to see, do I learn better through listening? Do I learn better through practicing? I learn better through hands-on. I'm a kinesthetic learner. I'm also very much auditory and visual. Like, I have to see it done. I'll read it and I'm like, I don't quite get what that just said. And I'll read over and over again. And I'm still stuck in the same space. So the idea is to really give yourself the tools that you need. And that's what I do. And that's why I'm here. And today we're going to be taking a look at what are the 10 ways that you can reduce that Thanksgiving stress. And this can be used in any aspect, any event in your life, and how to revive those relationships. So these techniques will help you to revive those relationships. And on top of that, you're also going to see that these techniques allow you to be able to see, okay, so there's more that I can do to create more levels of depth in my relationship. So for example, I have a client, beautiful, beautiful woman. Actually, this can relate to a lot of my female clients. There's a few dads, but this is a big mom thing. I've got to put myself first, or I've got to put my kids first before myself. I've got to do what they need. I've got to meet their schedules, and I got to get them to school, and I got to get them with their homework, and I've got to get them to do this. And I don't want to put any of my pressure on them. I don't want to ask them to do things outside of what they're already doing. School's really hard, and all that's true, right? School is hard. They have a lot on them. But if a child does not know how to give back to you and have empathy for you, if a child doesn't know how to do chores around the house, like wash dishes and do laundry, and I'm not saying child like 5, right? Although some kids, I learned all that stuff around that age, but my mom taught it to me, so then it was mine to do. It wasn't something to do together. But if you're doing those things together, teaching them, guiding them, showing them, they're getting skills. They're getting empathy for another human being. They're understanding how they can help you as you're helping them. And by the way, I said this was more so women, but I have had fathers with this. And they're looking on now at adult children going, why don't they seem to really care about me? Because you didn't teach them to. For some children, empathy comes naturally, it's really deep, but for other children, it has to be taught. And if it's not taught, you left them without it. And so it's important to be able to look at that, not in judgment and blame. Let that reach your heart, because when I say it, it reaches mine. No child should be without knowing who their parent is because they kept themselves distant. I got to worry about this. I got to handle that. Don't worry about what I'm feeling. Don't worry about what I'm needing. You just handle your life. Okay. And so that misses out on that piece. And so what we're actually going to be doing with that in mind, we're going to be taking a look at these 10 steps. Hey there, Graham. Good to see you. Yes. Rethink, revive, rejoice, rejuvenate. Woohoo! So we're going to be taking a look at these, and I'm going to share this with you. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to offer this infographic, and an infographic is a graphic with the information that you can see and help the subconscious mind take a look at it like in a checklist. And I'm going to share this with you. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. All right, perfect. So as we're going through this, I'd like for you to just pay attention to each one. You could look over them, that's fine, but I want you to really pay attention to each one. It might seem like, oh yeah, I could do that, that's fine. But I have many clients who, if I showed them this list, we have to really work on this list because they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ask for help. I'm not going to call ahead of time. I'm not going to set expectations. I'm not going to set a budget. I'm not going to. So it's important to take a look at where you might find yourself resisting some of these, and it might be all of them, and see why. And what comes up is your limiting belief. So for instance, if I say, I can't ask for help, they're going to judge me. Take a look at that. What is that about? Where do you believe they're going to judge you? Are they really going to judge you, or are you taking an innocent person and using that innocent person as your judge? That's important, right? So when you're asking each person to bring a dish, you might already do that, so that one could be easy for you. But if you don't, you might have it that you're weak if you ask for help. You might have it that they're going to judge you if you ask for help. But if you let somebody know, like, hey, I really need help with this. It's taking a lot of time. It's taking a lot of effort. It's becoming more stressful, especially as we might have injuries, or we might find ourselves aging, or working a lot, or just different things, right? As we start to age, it might be harder to stand on your feet all day. It might be harder if there's limitations going on in your body. Same thing with injuries. Same thing if you have a different kind of job. Same thing if you had kids when you didn't before. Lots of different things come into play that change from the way we used to do things to the way we can do things now. If we let another person know, hey, this is really going to help. And if you find them giving you a hard time, by the way, I don't just do this work with individuals. I also do this work with couples and families. Because sometimes we try to talk to a family member, but we've had a certain relationship for such a long time, we don't know how to change it. And so even something as simple as a holiday conversation, I can help you to do that with them. This work is amazing on how, with both people knowing how to actually communicate with each other and hear each other, solutions are had. Calm communication is created. understanding and listening at different levels is automatically created. And not automatically like osmosis, automatically like you learn how to do it. It's really beautiful. I've watched families come together with being able to practice this and being able to say to me, we haven't spoken like this in 30 years. And in some cases, I have a client, she was in her 50s, her mom was in her 90s. And she said, I've never had a conversation like this with my mother before, where she was just able to see her as a regular human being versus this person who was rather rigid and tyrannical with her all the time. But because she changed her perception, she changed her interaction, it changed the relationship. I bet you didn't think you'd be getting something so deep for Thanksgiving, right? But it really does work. It really does make that difference. And you really do deserve it. All right, number 2, the idea of being able to clarify ahead of time, and you're actually going to see that a few of these could relate together. So I'm going to actually talk about a couple of them off order. So you're going to see where it's talking about the pre-call ahead of time for expectations. You can also take a look at the budget when you're doing that. That also helps in that regard. You can also look at prerequisite of off-limit topics, right? So those actually can help. And then there's taking a look at what the family time goal would be. Those are things that you can include in there. And then also, like if the family's feeling down, whoever that person is that you're talking to is feeling down or you're feeling down. And this is where you can kind of see, okay, let's do the opposite. What would that look like? And any of the burn off activities, as well as the fun agendas, those are things you can ask them, hey, what do you think about this? I want to include this in the program or in the agenda of Thanksgiving. What's something you'd like to do for fun? What's some topic you'd like to do? And if they don't know, go ahead, you guys Google it together, right? This is the budget that I have set and I can't go around it. And so I'm asking everybody to bring a dish. What dish would you like to bring? So we just sort of set up expectations right away. And that's where we're also clarifying those expectations. What would you like to have included in today? What would you like to bring as far as your dish? What other dishes would you like for us to ask? Who do you know does a really cool dish that I could ask them that instead of what I'm thinking? And so it has everybody on the same page with you. You're not doing it alone, right? Okay, so I kind of broke those down really quick and how they all come together. So let's just kind of walk through it. Clarifying expectations on the pre-call. What would you like today to look like? What are your concerns? Who do you think might have an issue? Well, you know, dad always brings up this about me and I just don't want him to do it. Okay, cool. So when I talk to dad, I'm going to let him know that that topic's off the table, right? We're not going to be talking about Julie's work or anything like that because that really creates some stress. We could do that, you know, we could do that another time, just not for Thanksgiving, right? So those are ways to be able to help create that. Or if it's a conversation that, say, Julie needs to have with dad, then you can help set expectations. Okay, do you think you want to have that conversation with dad ahead of time? Totally. And then the conversation's already had. And if by chance he brings it up, then she could say, oh, well, dad, we already talked about that. You already know how that's going and that we're going to address tomorrow or next time we talk. So it allows also for this way to redirect. So like here, right, this feeling down, you already now know what to say. So it's going to have you feeling the opposite. You're going to feel in control when that situation comes up. Oh, dad, yeah, we already talked about that, just to remind you. Sometimes, you know, folks do forget. Other times folks are a little provoking of a situation and we can just curb it just like that. No, we already talked about that. We're talking about that later, or we already talked about that. So, you know, we don't really need to address it now. Or you could just say, oh, we already talked about that. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm working on it. Or, you know, so you already feel prepared in that regard. And so everything just feels really good. Everything feels really calm, really relaxed. You have already that pre-budget you've shared with everybody and you stick with it because you've already talked about it. You've already got the dishes coming in that are needed. If there's any additional thing, you can ask, you know, in that conversation, you're talking to people, you can say, okay, could you bring the soda? Could you bring the plates? Could you bring the silverware with each person? And so then it's on the list. And then we can also have like a backup, right? So you can have included in your budget somebody that forgets something or doesn't bring something, right? Okay, and so then we're taking a look at the off-limit topics. We talked about that a little bit, but we can also allow ourselves to have a response. So All right, we are now, and we're going to take a look at the next one. What's the intention? So, speaking with everybody, what's your intention you want to create for Thanksgiving? I want to create fun. I want to create connection. I want to create love. I want to create togetherness. I want to create whatever their word is. Write it down. And then you could just have like you could have a piece of paper if you want, right? Just like a regular size piece of paper. But what would be even more fun is you just get those poster board papers, right? And you can write on there everyone's intention and you can put it up on the wall. Thanksgiving family intentions. And whenever anybody veers off, which is normal, it's human, people have emotions, people might get on topics. Just, hey, everybody, we're jumping right back on family intentions. Family goal is fun. Family goal is love. Family goal is no arguing, whatever it is, right? And if we're not arguing, what are we? We're relaxed, we're calm, we're supporting each other, everybody's feeling accepted. So as you talk about those intentions, it helps everyone come back to that place of their subconscious mind of, oh, right, I've planted that. I've decided that. That's what I want. That's what I'm creating today. We're not getting into anything else outside of that intentions list. And so it creates expectations. It also creates this wonderful connection that people are just like, oh, I want to create that today. I want to have that with my family. I want to make sure that everybody feels that. And it might be new, and you might be like, that sounds dumb. Do it anyway. Because even the people that might be like, it doesn't matter. It plants the seed, it plants the love, it plants the intention, it creates that happening in the subconscious mind. So even if there's some resistance to it because they're not used to it, everyone is connecting to it, everyone is accepting it, everyone is creating this environment. So even if it's not familiar, it still feels really, really good. Okay. And so in doing that, that's easily to remove the off limit topics, right? Okay. So, and that's how, if we're feeling down, we do the opposite. That's how all of these things help us to do the opposite. I don't like to just give advice and not show you how, right? And then also too, one of the things I wanted to share with you, and this is like a bonus off of the 10, is I want you to be able to see you can do this practice with me. So I have a program, it's called Revive Your Relationship. And the idea is this isn't just with relationships. This is within yourself. Intimacy is 2 levels, right? Into you, I see, and into me, I see. That deepest level of intimacy helps you to speak up, helps you to have your voice, helps you to be able to get connected, helps you to find that relationship you want to find, or find that connection in the relationship you already have. You deserve it. They deserve it. And if this is with your children or with your parents, you know that's what you want for them. And so this will help you to do it, right? And so I want you to know that this is something that I'm going to be starting again. I continue to run these groups for just small groups, intimate groups, so you can learn what you need to. And it helps you to create that confidence. It helps you to establish that connection. It helps you to be able to speak up for yourself. It helps you to be able to learn how to listen. If the other person's saying to you, you don't hear me, that's not what I said. Or if that's how you feel, it's vice versa, right? It'll also help you have your energy, your clarity. And in the process of that, you're going to be looking and feeling more relaxed and calm. You're going to be feeling more connected and more loving. You're going to be stepping out of places where you might be feeling blocked and fearful and stepping into having those things, doing them anyways. It's going to show up whether it's with your health, whether it's with your relationships, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your career and your boss or your employees. It's going to show up in every direction because as you're working on you, you are a reflection of these things. So you'll see it in every way. And you might be like, well, how? Well, there's different tools that we're going to practice. There's going to be awareness that you're going to practice. There's going to be cutting ties to old things that have been holding you down, old beliefs, old trainings that you have, old programmings and beliefs. And I'll be able to break those down for you so you can see what they really are. Because a lot of times we know what the problem is, right? We know we want these things, but instead of getting these things, we're creating more of the problem. And so this will be able to show you how to break it down in step by step. You'll also get blueprints. Each week, you're going to see here. Now, everyone who joins the group, I'm helping you, or you're helping me to decide if we're going to start on the 10th or the 17th, because I've had some of the people who are enrolling saying, I don't know, maybe the 17th. So that's in discussion. It may be starting on the 17th instead of the 10th. So just so you know, if you're like, oh, the 10th is too soon, then just know the 17th is still an option. Now, I just put this out here so that way you can see what you're going to have and what you'll see here, actually, this pricing here. This is going to be the pricing after Friday, but until Friday, you're going to be able to see that the pricing is the discounted early bird pricing. So you can make sure that you jump on that. Now, as you're going through this, it's important for you to realize, just like this couple here, I'm going to read it for you here. We would advise everyone to go through Revive Your Relationship. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, or I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me to save my marriage. And that's Jackie and Dan. And that's just beautiful, right? And the way to do that is you just click over here on intimateconnection.co. You're going to go to intimateconnection.co and you're going to just fill out an application really quickly. You're going to set up on my schedule and we're going to set up an action plan for you and get you getting the success, get you getting that relationship, the communication, the listening, especially starting with you. You're looking for things out there, have them created in here first, and then you're going to draw it to you. If you're looking for the perfect relationship, there isn't a perfect, by the way, but close enough that fits exactly what you want. Yeah, you can have that, but not if you're not that yourself. You're looking for it out here, and I can help you learn how to create it in here. So that way you're not blocked, you're not struggling with anxiety, you're not struggling with feeling not good enough, you're not struggling with perfectionistic behaviors that keep you blocked and stuck. So I wanted to share with you that that is an option for you to help you do these steps and do these tasks before Thanksgiving even gets here. So you don't have to feel like you're on your own doing these things. Okay, so this is actually a lot of fun to establish a fun agenda. And it doesn't have to look formal, right? It could be like, oh my gosh, what games are we going to have? And then you ask people, so are there any super fun games that you love playing with friends? Bring it. Now, some of it might be a little inadequate, so check first. They might have a fun name, but then there might be some things that are just a little much. There are some games that are a little inadequate, but just pull out the inadequate cards. It's okay, right? You could still have the fun with the game and not have the ones that are just like, whoa, that's too much to have with mom or dad or grandma here. You can also do like the beanbag game or horseshoes or just different things. You could go for a walk. You could go to the mall. Where you have to be in air conditioning, you could go for a walk if it's going to be a nice cool day. So many things you can think of doing. You could pick a movie, right? And here's the thing, you can have two movies and people get to pick. So between these two movies, what's going to work for you? And during that day, you could play those two movies, right? So it doesn't have to be one or the other. And you could just say, at this time, this movie's going to play, and at this time, this movie's going to play. That's it. So there doesn't have to be a lot of disagreements or arguing or anything like that. And you have a really good setup. So if people want to go sit, watch TV, they can. Then of course there's the game. So, if your folks are game folks, then there's that. No movies at all needed. So it gives you these things to think about. So you're like, okay, there doesn't have to be any issues at all. We're going to be in here playing this game. They're going to be in there watching the football game, and they're going to be outside playing this. So it's good. So it allows you to be able to have that, or everybody's just going to go to the mall and have a walk around the mall for an hour, and we're just going to window shop or look at certain things, and we're all going to, have lunch at the mall and have dinner at home, or have, it doesn't even have to eat at the mall. I'm just giving you ideas to think it through. So you could be like, okay, that's an idea, right? Or if around you, maybe the mall's not open, then it could be something else. So it always gives you some ideas to think about ahead of time. So you're feeling really good about what you're doing. And you can ask other people, I want to create a fun agenda of activities. What do you think are some things that we could do? Especially like what's open, what's not open. And then you can have these fun things to create for yourselves. So do that. You deserve it. Even if you're like, oh, this doesn't seem like a good idea. I've never done it before. You'll find as you're creating things to do to have fun, people have fun creating those fun things. Be careful if you get into perfectionism or it has to look a certain way, or if you didn't do it, then you're failing or you did bad. And if anybody tries to do that, you clear it up. That's not our family goal intention. Our family goal intention is to have fun, not be judgmental, not be argumentative. We're shifting off of that back onto this. I'm so glad that you were here. I'm so glad that you're taking this time to help you to see what you can do to relieve that stress, because you deserve it. Now, we already talked about the relaxation and downtime activities. So you implement those. And then at the end, you just ask each person, grab your plate, now if it's throw stuff away, that's fine. Grab your stuff. Either it goes in the sink, you rinse it, put it in the dishwasher, your stuff, it's not too difficult. And then if it's stuff that gets thrown away, we just make sure it gets thrown away in the trash bag, not left anywhere, and it's done. Any drinks, pour the drinks out before they go in the trash. Super simple. You just walk through that stuff so that way it's done. You just say, hey, everybody, we're going to have a set rule. We're going to make sure, and then you share that. And then, and if you see that your buddy next to you forgets, just remind them. That's it. And now everybody's going to support everybody. So you're not left with a whole lot of work and a whole lot of stress and strain. Now, if everybody comes and does their dish and does the cleaning, then there could be a second rule that says, hey, everybody who does your dish, if you can clean your dish, then that way it's going to help that there's not a lot for everybody. If you, let's just say you're the one who does everything because you're just like, nope, I want to do everything. It could be like, hey, everybody, one of the rules that we're going to do this time is, everybody's going to clean their dish, put in the dishwasher. But if you can grab a pot and just wash a pot, that will really help so much that there's not so many things left afterwards. And people want to help. They really do want to help. Allow people to help you. And just one last story. I have a client who, she doesn't let anyone help her. She doesn't allow anyone to ask how she's feeling. I'm fine. Why are you asking? Emotions are weak. Sharing that stuff is weak. Got to be strong. But what she practiced was thinking back where that came from. And when I had her taking a look at that, she realized that came from her family. It came from her mom, her aunt, her dad. And what came out of that? Not really knowing them, not really having connection, not really having skills to be able to do those things, because they did it. And they did it out of love and compassion. It wasn't bad, but they took from her this opportunity to grow and thrive and connect and to support them and to even know who they were and know what their stressors were and know how to be empathetic. All of that was taken away by their thinking they had to be so strong, and that as a kid, kids don't need to know that stuff. Well, when do you stop becoming a kid? By 17, 18, now what? You don't know how to do laundry. I mean, you could do your own, but you don't know how to do the main stuff, don't know how to cook, don't know how to do those things. And you look back and go, yeah, I don't even really know who they were. They just worked all the time. They never really shared their thoughts and their emotions. I never really had to care about that. Don't create that. Because now, without meaning to, you've just disabled them. And now they have to do all that learning on their own, without your love, without your support, without your connection. So doing these things will actually help create that. And if it's somebody who gives pushback because they're not used to it, that's what was created. So it's okay, it's okay to not want to. There's stuff I don't want to all the time, but that's what we're going to do this time. Support each other, love each other, help each other. So I hope this has really helped you. And I want you to know that you don't have to do it alone. That is why I do what I do, because I had to do much of this alone. But when I ended up in foster care and I saw that people wanted to help me, people wanted me to allow them to teach me things. They didn't say, oh, get away from me, leave me alone, stop bothering me. You're just a pain in the ass. They didn't say that. They wanted to teach me. They wanted me to learn. They wanted to share their stories with me. They wanted to share their emotions with me. I got to be able to be in a relationship, to relate and connect Allow that for others. Allow that for yourself. And allow me to be that support for you if you feel like you need additional support in there. If anything that I've shared with you today rings true for you and you'd like to work more on it, reach out to me. Go ahead and go to that intimateconnections.co website, fill out the application. It takes not even 5 minutes. I've done it too, so I know exactly how the time it takes and the questions and these. You'll see the testimonials from past clients. You'll also see that if this is you, it's not your picture yet. I have to get the picture from you. These are just or stock pictures, but just fill out the application and then set up a time with me. We're going to get that action plan set up for you. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling relieved. Every single person who talks to me after the fact, from the first call, says, I finally feel some hope again. I finally feel like I can move forward. I finally feel like there's some answers that I can begin to practice, some real life hands-on answers. I look forward to hearing that from you. I look forward to you having that for me in your life, practicing it, making it happen. All right, you guys, you have a beautifully blessed day. Let me know any questions you have from this. Let me know if you've tried it and it's not working, anything that feels like a block, any other area you want to share. You're like, oh, add this to that. It'll be good. And I'll continue to share this with folks. These are tools and checklists that I share and I create, and I give these as freebies and as guides for the mind to continue to retrain and reprogram itself. So we can add your ideas too. All right, you guys, bring it in. Big squishy hugs. And know that you're loved and you like it. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.